You may have heard the news about a week ago. A mosque collapsed in Indonesia. The mosque is part of Madrasah, an Islamic boarding school. At the end, after 4 days of rescuing, the people gave up. They started using heavy equipment to move the pillars and debris because the mosque was not actually done yet. They were building five-story mosque and they were on the fourth one when this happened. The students were using the first floor to pray. In Canada or in the West, this will not happen. I mean, you're not allowed to use it if to use a mosque to pray if the mosque is not done yet. But this is not Canada. This is not USA. This is Indonesia. So they were using it to pray even though they were not done building it. And the mosque collapsed. Hundreds of people injured. 104 people injured. And a couple of them, if I'm not mistaken, two of them got amputated. They had to be amputated. At the end, after 1 week, 67 people died. 67 children died. They're all teenagers. The Indonesian parents, the Muslim parents, they do not sue the mosque. This is it's not like the Christians. If something happened, or like whether it's something like this or sexual abuse, they will sue the church. But with the Islamic world, it is very different. You hardly hear anyone sue a mosque, even though the sexual abuse or something like this happen more often. Why? Because one thing is the owner of the madrasah, the owner of the Islamic boarding school, said this is takdir. This is takdir. Takdir is an Arabic word means destiny, fate, or divine predestination. So this is the will of Allah. There's nothing he can do. It was not his fault. Well, if if you are not a Muslim and you're listening to this, you will see this as a human's fault. Humans is at fault here. Humans are at fault because why? First, who let them using the first floor? And also for the teenagers too, right? Why would they do that? Knowing it is not done yet. So that's why the madrasah, I mean the owner, did not get sued because of the Islamic teaching. As we can see in Sahih al Bukhari, hadith number 6614, narrated Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, Adam and Moses argued with each other. Moses said to Adam, Adam, you are our father who disappointed us and turned us out of paradise. Then Adam said to him, O Moses, Allah favored you with his talk, and he wrote the Torah for you with his own hand. Do you blame me for action which Allah had written in my fate 40 years before my creation? So Adam confuted Moses. The prophet added, repeating the statements 3 times. Well, this is this is what happens when you have a prophet with OCD. So the prophet repeated 3 times. So as you can see, even Adam said his fall is actually not his own fault. Allah had written his fate 40 years before his creation. So everything he did was because of Allah. The same thing as Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 3208. Let us read. Narrated Abdullah ibn Masud. Allah's messenger, the true and truly inspired, said, the matter of creation of a human being is put together in the womb of the mother in 40 days. Then he becomes a clot of thick blood for a similar period. Then a piece of flesh for a similar period. Then Allah sends an angel who is ordered to write four things. He is ordered to write down his deeds, livelihood, his death, or whether he is blessed or wretched. So here, his deeds, whether good or bad, is already written, is already planned by Allah. Let me continue reading. Then the soul is breathed into him. So a man amongst you may do good deeds till there is a cubit between him and paradise. And then has been written for him decides what has been written for him decides his behavior, and he starts doing evil deeds or deeds characteristic of the people of the fire or hell. And similarly, a man amongst you may do evil deeds till there is only a cubit between him and the hellfire. And then what has been written for him decides his behavior. And he starts doing good deeds characteristic of the people of paradise. So a person can be good for almost entire of his life, and suddenly, just before he dies, he starts doing evil things. That's because what was written by Allah, and vice versa. A person can be bad, and then all of a sudden, before he dies, he starts doing good things. And this is also because of Allah and what was written by Allah. And actually, about blessed and wretched here, in the as you can see, it is in the bracket. It says in region, but actually it is not in region. It is actually is the provision, whether he's becoming rich or poor. Blessed means becoming rich, or wretched becoming he becomes poor. That's actually what it is. But sometimes, like I always say, these translators, they are liars. They always change stuff, change the meaning, change the translation. Don't know why. Why can't they just be honest? Anyway, so this is the teaching of Islam. Everything is because what was written. There's no free will in Islam. Even though sometimes you will hear Muslims saying, oh yeah, life, everyone has free will. But there's always but, also predestination. So you're like confused. There's no such thing, either free will 100% or predestined 100%. You cannot mix this, because otherwise we don't know which, as a human being, we don't actually know which one is free will, which one is predestination, if they mix it. So there's no way it's a mix between free will and predestination. So either free will or predestination. In this case, Islam teaching predestination through and through. And there's no free will in Islam. Anyway, that's all from me for today. This is something to for us to think about. And remember, a slice of pork a day will keep you away from Islam. God bless you all. Have a nice life.